Hi, I'm Droolbatz. This is Chekov. She's been following me around all day. She's just in one of those moods. So welcome to the Droolbatz and Chekov Variety Hour. Today I'm going to be reviewing the 2019 horror film Deadly Switch. I'm going to be discussing this movie based on its premise, its production value and artistic choices, and finally, how it compares or contrasts to other films of the genre. I hope you enjoy, and so does Chekov. Foreign exchange student Anna, who is from Scotland, discovers that somebody is stalking her at her new American college. One night when she's in a bar, she actually sees someone in a weird black outfit trying to stalk her. Of course she's afraid. This girl, Monica, who is working at the bar, kind of helps her run this stalker off and like offers to walk her home. The two kind of become friends, even though Anna is kind of more like a traditional kind of timid girl, and Monica is more like punk rocker. She's got long blonde hair with like streaks in it and a nose ring, and kind of carries herself like really old days Avril Lavigne, if that makes sense. The two become fast friends. After Anna discovers that the stalker knows where she lives and has been leaving her not just like creepy texts and stuff, but has been leaving her creepy, you know, packages and envelopes and stuff, she gets really scared, and Monica says, well, why don't you move in with me, since he knows where you live. If things continue to get bad, we can call the police, but maybe it'll just die out on its own. So Anna moves in with Monica, and they're getting along great. One day, she starts getting a bevy of creepy texts from her stalker. She's concerned that it might be this guy who is hitting on her at the bar. Monica and she don't know for sure, so Monica's like, well, it's close enough to spring break. Why don't you come home with me, meet my family? We can, you know, take some time away from the city and the stalker won't know where you are. If it gets too bad, we can call the police, but why don't we just take some time to think about it and just get away? Anna definitely wants to do that. She didn't really have a good home life growing up, so she's really excited when she goes to Monica's house, and her family's really nice. Her mom and dad are very like, kind of like very straight-laced, like down-home Christian country folk. They have a lot of like the old values, like, you know, we like the country life, we like it safe, we like make our breakfast of biscuits fresh every morning, things like that. They comment how Anna looks shockingly similar to their daughter, Camilla. Camilla passed away in a tragic car accident with another girl from the community a couple of years ago. They're really nice. She gets to stay in Camilla's old bedroom. She's having a pretty good time. When she goes out on the town, she thinks she sees the guy who has been stalking her. When she goes out on the town, a lot of people mention to her how much she looks like Camilla. It's getting kind of weird for her, but whatever. Someone kind of mentions in passing like, oh, it's so tragic what happened to Camilla. You know, someone thought she was running away because she was leaving in the middle of the night. This movie had some really good pacing. There's drama right off the bat as we are introduced to Anna in the bar almost immediately with the stalker drama, like within the first 2 minutes of the movie. You're immediately introduced to the drama. You immediately get to know Anna, and you right off the bat are invested in her story and her character. I really liked the dynamic between Monica and Anna as they became friends. The friendship was really well illustrated. The two have very different aesthetics, but it was really cute how they got to be friends. There were a lot of really fun montages of them, like, you know, studying together, brushing their teeth together, doing all of that. They were just really fun. There were a lot of montages throughout the movie. There were like at least 3. So, you know, most movies have like maybe 1, maybe 2, usually if they're like athletic type movies. So it was a little surprising this movie had so many, but the montages were a really good length. They were very cute. It really was a good way to illustrate their growing friendship, which was important to the story. So while it was a little odd, I don't think it was completely out of place. The movie had a really good set, especially regarding Monica's family's house. They're very like down-home country folk, and the house was a very detailed set, and I think it really accurately reflected like what country people's houses actually look like versus like what HGTV wants you to think they look like. I thought the actors did a great job. They were well cast. The script was a little questionable. The family of Monica over and over and over emphasized how country they were. It got really corny. I was like, okay, enough of that. The fact that Monica and Anna became friends so fast and moved in together so fast was a little questionable too. You really had to suspend your disbelief on that very quickly. I don't know anyone who would walk up to someone and just be like, oh, you look like this girl who died, ha ha ha. I think she died under mysterious circumstances. Also, would you like to buy a lemonade? This movie did that though, so I would say that on that front it was a little bit of a fail. Another thing too is the timeline for the American college didn't make any sense. She starts getting stalked relatively early in the semester, but then she moves in right away with Monica, and then suddenly, like, she's been stalked for like 3 days after being Monica's roommate, and then they decide to leave for spring break. And it's like, I don't know what college is like in other countries, but in America, that timeline doesn't make any sense. The movie had a lot of good pacing though, and in that front it was really good. They really balanced kind of like the playful and fun elements with the really suspenseful and intense moments. So I thought the scares were really well spaced in that way. I'm a huge fan of traditional horror movie soundtracks. A lot of, you know, the dun dun, or like the, you know, the high-pitched noises to kind of signify the intensity of a moment. And this movie really, really utilized traditional music. So that was a huge plus for me, personally. The soundscaping was really good in this movie. I didn't have any issues hearing anything. I thought they did a really good job of balancing the speaking versus the background noises and the other sound effects. Now I'm going to be discussing how this film stands apart from or blends into other films of this genre. I am going to be spoiling this movie, so if you don't want to hear what happens next, please take this as your cue to leave. It's been lovely having you. I can finally sit normally because my dear Chekov has left me. Anna starts to get really suspicious about the circumstances surrounding Camilla's death. Of course, she's weirded out that everyone says she looks so much like Camilla. And, you know, the family that she's staying with is really caring, but she's starting to get some weird signals from the mom. Monica has started, like, saying, oh, I'm gonna go hang out with a friend, and just leaving her alone for hours at a time with the mom and the dad, and it's starting to get kind of weird. At dinner one night, some friends of the family come over, and she sees that the daughter of the people is being really subdued and almost seems like there's some like kind of like home abuse going on or something like that. Anna immediately sees the red flags and decides she needs to leave. However, as she tries to leave, she starts realizing her stalker is still in the area. When she tries to tell the family about it and say that's why she wants to leave, they're like, oh, no, 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 we'll help you out, come on. They suddenly won't let her leave, and she realizes that they want her to replace their daughter Camilla, who died, and that Monica lured her in from the city to be their replacement daughter because Camilla was the favorite daughter and everyone knew it. They didn't even try to hide it. Anna manages to fight back and escape to the city. She tries to confront Monica and discovers that Camilla is actually still alive and has been hiding this whole time. She kind of like faked her own death. Anna ends up talking with Camilla, and while the family is definitely bonkers, she doesn't blame Camilla for trying to leave. She gives her her passport and says, "'Cause we look so similar, use my passport, go to Scotland, you know, change your name, whatever, and in a couple weeks or months I will report my passport has been stolen. Just like, get out of here, girl." The movie ends with Anna finally kind of asserting herself and standing up, being more confident, and she confronts Monica, and she's definitely doing well by the end of this movie. So this movie had a lot of elements that we've seen in other movies, like, you know, cases of mistaken identity, or like someone, like your doppelganger running around. You know, the whole, like, someone's trying to kidnap you because they're a psycho and they miss their daughter or their last victim or whatever. The way that the mother and then, like, the wife of the friend who came for dinner and their daughter was very much felt like very Stepford Wives-y, except like instead of suburbia, it was like, we're country Stepford Wives. It was kind of a cool element, but it just felt really weird. The movie just had so much going on, and yet none of it was particularly unique or special. Really, it just kind of felt like a remix of things we've all seen before without actually bringing anything new to the table. The whole aspect of Monica and Anna's friendship was really fun. I really liked seeing the montages. I thought they were really fun, even if they didn't necessarily have a super typical vibe for a horror movie. This movie kind of emphasized the whole like girls helping girls, women supporting women aspect in a way that was like, I think, fairly uncommon in horror movies. I liked it. I really like that kind of positivity, and I think it kind of helped make the whole like, oh, Monica was in on it thing slightly less suspicious. There are a lot of TV shows nowadays, especially aimed at like young people, where the whole you know, women helping women, we gotta support, you know, fight the patriarchy things are like very common themes and very openly talked about. And that's, you know, great or whatever, but I'm used to that being like in TV and not so much in movies. It was very apparent in this movie, even though they didn't like say it. And I thought it was like a very positive way to kind of bring that in. They weren't like, bring down the patriarchy. They were just like, you know, you're my friend and I'm gonna keep you safe, girl power. And it was really cute. But I've never really seen that overtly in a horror movie before, so that was kind of a unique element. With this movie, you really had to suspend your disbelief quite a bit. The timeline, like I said, was just really unrealistic, and I'm like, well, I'm just gonna ignore that and just, you know, assume that a lot happens off camera that we don't see. But then again, we had to like, again, suspend our disbelief when it comes to, you know, the stalker, when it comes to the creepy Stepford Wives element, when it comes to her escaping to the city, to the Camilla faking her death thing. There was just a lot of elements that were too much. It's kind of a thing that you have to suspend your disbelief a little bit with horror movies, but this was too much in my opinion. And that kind of weakened the overall framework of the story. In the last 30 minutes or so, the movie got really cheesy, really cliche. Up until that point, while the movie had been like, you know, kind of a familiar tale with familiar elements, it was still pretty enjoyable, but it just got over the top cheesy and cliche in like the last half hour of the movie, and I think that really detracted from the overall vibe of the movie and the overall experience that it brought to viewers. Also, the parents were like, we're country, in like a really corny way, and I know that, you know, people who are country people tend to be like, you know, I'm country and proud, and city people don't tend to be like, I'm city and proud. Like, people don't really do that, but people who are country that I know, they still don't like bring it up as often and as frequently as the people in this movie did, so it was just like, that's too much. If I had to rate this movie, I would give it a 2.5 out of 5 stars. It was enjoyable. Like I said, I really liked the girls' friendship. I really liked it, and I haven't really seen that so heavily emphasized in a horror movie before, so I thought that was really fun, and I liked the montages. They felt really fun, and it kind of gave us a break from the suspense so that when the suspenseful and scary moments happened, they meant more. A lot of the other elements of the movie just weren't satisfactory. It was fun to watch, definitely, but it's probably not a movie I would ever watch again. It's not super scary, so I feel like it might be a bit tame for normal horror fans. I think it might be a good like TV type movie to show, like, if someone's like a younger horror movie fan and you don't want them watching like really crazy stuff, this one might be a good option. Overall, it was a fun movie and I liked it, but it wasn't super unique. It wasn't the best I've ever seen, and it just really didn't stand out in any way. What do you think about montages? Do you think that they should be limited to 1 per movie? Let me know any thoughts you have. I'd love to hear them all. I hope you really enjoyed this review, and I hope that it was helpful to you. Thank you so much for watching. Please like this video if you liked it, and please consider subscribing if you haven't already. I make horror movie reviews. I have fun doing it, and I hope people have fun watching. So anyway, thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.